Alfonso, how are you?
I'm great. Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for your time. And my goodness, we posted something on our Twitter page saying that you were coming on. It was like having BTS or one of those boy groups on there. Like 55 retweets. Your fans are very, very excited about everything you do. That's going to feel pretty good.
No. I always feel very grateful with all the people that are constantly following what I do. So I'm very lucky, and thank you for this conversation. I'm very happy to be here.
Well, you're far too kind. Now, the new fourth season of OZARK has just come out. And what's the reaction been for people that are binging this on Netflix? Have people feeling satisfied with the conclusion, if they've seen the whole final season? Or what are you hearing from your fans on that?
Well, in my perspective, is that the response has been very positive.
Good.
I think when you are part of a story that has a very good backbone, when you have very solid scripts, you have the possibility of constructing three-dimensional characters, which is something interesting to watch. That's why people are so hooked with this TV show because of how grounded and how well developed this show is. So what I can say is that I feel so lucky to be part of this cast.
And man, what a great cast you've got. You're working with some amazing people from Jason to Laura. I mean, just a real talented group of people.
Completely. And I would say that their talent, their craft is equivalent to their generosity, because it's hard to go into a show right away that is shooting the fourth season, knowing that they already have done 3 seasons, and since day one they made me feel so welcomed, and they made me feel home, and that's why when they talk about the OZARK family, it's because they are a family. They take care of each other on set and outside of set.
Yeah, and I think that's why it translates on the screen. People can see that.
Right.
I said I think that's why people can see, it translates on the screen, is when it's going on behind the scenes, it just makes what happens on the screen even better,
Exactly. That is also very, very important, and you can see it. I completely agree.
Now, you play Javi. You're kind of I guess you are the bad guy in this. Is that fun to play the antagonist in the show?
Well, it's fun to play a guy that is so unpredictable. When you have a character that is unpredictable, you have so many choices to explore on set. And yes, it was fun to play this guy. Javi, even though he's portrayed as a villain, every single time I try to construct my characters, I try not to judge them. So, but on the other hand, he's a guy that likes to enjoy life. He likes to have a good conversation. He likes to have a good glass of wine.
Yeah.
And that is also very, very interesting, and creates a very interesting balance between this hot-headed man and a guy that likes to take his time and enjoy a nice dinner and a glass of wine and a good conversation. It's a great contrast.
I'll tell you what, you need to have a glass of wine watching the show, because it is just, there's parts of it where it's just so intense that you're jumping off your seat. You're so nervous, watching what happens.
I would say that I would have 2 glasses of wine.
Yeah. It's a little intense.
Exactly. It's a bit intense. I completely agree.
Now, let me ask you about this, Alfonso. There's a podcast where you do, it's kind of like an old radio play almost, like they used to do the Lone Ranger on radio years and years ago. You're part of Batman. Can you tell us a little bit about this thing? I just heard about this morning.
Yes. Actually, I received an invitation from DC and Spotify to be part of this project, to be part of this podcast that has been developed in 9 different countries. It's you can also explore, and you can also hear this amazing story in Spotify. The English version is also there, which is called Batman Unburied. And I had the possibility of being part of this story in the Latin American market. So Batman Unburied is there. So it's a good possibility also.
Yeah, so I say it's a podcast. People have to understand, when they think Batman, they might think it's a movie or a TV show, but it's like you're acting, but on the podcast. So it's like a radio. I call it a radio play, but it's like a podcast. You download it. It's an audio.
Exactly.
Yeah, that makes sense. What an old guy I sound like, right?
It's like going back to basics, right?
Yeah.
We are having these amazing shows, these amazing stories, and also we are going back to basics. I remember my mother, my father telling me how they loved tuning the radio on and being completely hooked with these stories on the radio. It's just amazing. And also, what is amazing about this podcast, it's the immersion. There are layers of sound that when you close your eyes, you're literally there. It's an immersive experience. So it's a good possibility to try that.
You don't play Batman. What is your character?
I'm playing Batman.
Oh, you play Batman. Okay.
I play Batman.
Do you have a little Batman voice you could do for us, Alfonso?
No, that would be a huge spoiler.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
No.
You got to go download the podcast.
That would be a huge spoiler.
Well, I tried to tuck you into it. I did my best. OZARK is streaming right now on Netflix as well, and it's the final season. So it's really fun to get to talk to you. Thank you so much for coming on.
No, a pleasure to be here, and thank you. I really enjoyed this conversation a lot. Thank you very, very much.